everyone, it's Diane Morellis from Visions and Traditions Realty here with our Tuesday tidbit. I was so looking forward to it, and I'm sorry that we're running a little bit behind, but got talking on the phone and got doing this and got doing that. You know how that goes. Anyway, let's start off with our little funny story, if that's okay with you. A very close and dear friend of mine, Kathy Gibb, who I've known, since I got in the business, so we're talking 28 years. She was a lender, and she is now vice president for Caliber Home Loans, one of the largest companies in the United States, or at least they were rated like number 1 and number 2 as far as ratings go. So again, that's Caliber Home Loans. Give you another little plug there, Kathy, in the company, because I do love you and I do think your company's great. You've always serviced my clients. So anyway, Kathy and I used to do a lot of stuff together, and we used to co-chair the program committee, and we would put on events for the Bay Area Board of Realtors, and at times in the newspaper they would refer to us as the dynamic duo, and she always used to joke at people and tell everybody we were twins, and she's much shorter than I am, so it was kind of a joke, and she would keep a serious face. Love you anyway. Okay, here's this little story from her. She's got many, but this is one that we're going to share. She actually was doing a loan for me, for one of my clients, and ran their credit. And when she ran their credit, all of a sudden she's looking at this stuff, and she's going through it, and so she calls the wife and she asks the wife, why on this report is this note regarding child support? And the wife said, well, I don't know. The wife calls the husband. Well, this has been going on for, I guess, 10 years. The wife calls the husband. Lo and behold, the husband had another family in another state. That was a tricky one. It was not a pleasant experience at the closing table, but fortunately they worked it all out and everything went fine, and they're happy campers today, and Kathy got that loan closed. We had to do a little bit of paperwork, and she had to do a little bit of explaining to the underwriters, but she got it closed. She and I did $60,000 loans way back in the 90s that we would stay up late at night just talking about and working out and trying to get to make them happen. Anyway, Kathy, thanks so much for your story. Thank you for letting me share it. I really appreciate it. And hello to my husband and Andy. And is that David? I can't see Lisette.
It is Marina and Tovar Gutierrez.
Oh, hey, Maria.
And Adele Raphael.
And Adele, how are you? Okay, so today we're going to show some of the houses that those billionaires live in. This is so much fun researching about these billionaires. Okay, so the first one is Jeff Bezos or Bezos. They probably kill me because I can't pronounce his name correctly. Anyway, Jeff, if you remember correctly, is the Amazon king and recently divorced. So I'm gonna have to try to get a little bit closer with these for you. So he recently divorced, and he does own numerous properties, of course, but this is the layout of the house that he just sold in the divorce. Huge. It was a 300-acre ranch in Texas. And now he also has a 5.3-acre property in Medina, Washington. He's got several other houses too, but this is a copy of the ranch. Isn't that beautiful? So anyhow, he is moving, from what I understand, in town into one of his, kind of like a brownstone or whatever, and I guess until he settles down from the divorce. But look at that piece of property. Is that not amazing? Is he the one with the rocket? Oh, I forgot. Okay, so Jeff Bezos, if you notice on this particular property over here, right here, This is a space shuttle. He has some sort of something space shuttle that he sends off into space. And look it up, it's really quite interesting. It's kind of, what's interesting to me is people who have all this money, where they spend it and how they spend it. So that's pretty cool. All right, the next one is Alice Walton. Okay, so I kind of just threw all the Waltons together because really and truly, there's so many. I mean, we've got so many Waltons. We've got the 3 Waltons out there that are in the top billionaires in the United States. So I picked Alice, and Alice recently sold 2 Texas ranches that totaled 5,872 acres. It was a 3-bedroom ranch. Now, what's really cool about, the house was 4,100 square feet. And reminds me a lot of the Low property here. They had a huge house, well, it's over 3,000 square feet, but it was on a whole bunch of acreage. And it was a 2-bedroom house. I think these large families know what they're talking about. They raise the kids and send them on out, and so be sure that there's not enough bedrooms for them to come back. Anyway, what's really cool about this particular piece of property is when she sells it, she's also selling the oil and gas rights. That's a big deal. I think we all should get together and buy this thing and go out there and start drilling for oil. See what we come up with, huh? Okay, Bill Gates. Now, Bill Gates is a tough cookie to work with here, okay? Not literally tough cookie to work with, or figuratively. But anyway, Bill Gates has a mansion that overlooks Lake Washington in Medina, Washington, that is 66,000 square feet. It took 7 years and $63 million to build. Today, this thing is worth $250 million. Can you believe this? $250 million. Now, mind you, he's got a lot of houses here and there, but this house to go, what an investment, from $63 million to a value of $250. Way to go, Bill. Like they say, everything you touch turns to gold. Okay, this is Mark, and Lisette's laughing at me. This is Mark Zuckerberg's house, or one of them. Okay, the story, what they said about Mark Zuckerberg is that his house is worth $30 million. Now, it's in Palo Alto, and what he did is he bought this house, and then he bought 4 houses around each other, and his goal is to bulldoze all of the houses and then come in and build 4 houses. So he's got some sort of a plan with all of this. But you know what's interesting? Mark Zuckerberg is a billionaire. But remember, this is a guy he is a philanthropist and gives his money to help people find cures for cancer and do all of that. So, I just think this is awesome, and I don't know how much those 4 houses are going to be worth that he builds around them, but I might put my name in to bid on one just for grins and see what happens. That's a joke. Okay, now, this one here, this one here. This is in Nebraska, and you'll never believe whose place this is. This is Warren Buffett's home. You know how they talk about Warren Buffett being so laid back and relaxed and wanting to have that modest lifestyle? And he lives in his original home from when he was a little boy. Well, this original house actually has 6,570 square feet, 5 bedrooms, and 2.5 baths. He also has quite the large driveway to park his Cadillac, because he loves his Cadillac. Now granted, the house was much smaller way back when, and these are additions, but this is his house. We love Google, don't we? We can't hide from Google, huh? Okay, so this particular house, oh my God, the one in the is it? Oh, never mind. This is Bloomberg, okay? This is Mr. Bloomberg's house. Can you see this? Mr. Bloomberg, I don't know, maybe I could. I tell you, it was kind of difficult finding Bloomberg's house. He knows how to kind of run around the block and make it hard to catch him. He has about 12 to 15 houses around the world. And so that was a picture of his Bermuda home, and just thought we'd share one of them with you. So anyway, I have had so much fun and have had so much feedback from people about this segment that we had last week on Billionaires, and I'm hoping you all enjoyed seeing these houses. That next week's segment we're going to do on immigrant billionaires, kind of a rags to riches stories. See who's out there that, you know, came to the U.S. with a couple dollars in their pocket, or their parents did, or something, because there are some, and it's just, I was reading some of them over the past week, and it really brought a tear to my eye at how hard they work. So, and it just, to me, it's one of those things that leaves an impression with you and leaves you motivated to get out there and work. I used to work for a gentleman. He wasn't a billionaire, he was a multimillionaire, but he had come from Italy. He was a little guy. I mean, he was all of about 5'2" and probably weighed 80 pounds. But he came and he started by cutting grass. And from there, he started buying apartments. And from there, he opened up a restaurant, and he worked really hard at that restaurant. But that man had so many holdings, and it was very, very motivational for me as a child. Or, you know, I was 15 when I worked for him, and so to know that it inspired me to want to get out there and work hard, because if you could come to this country with nothing and then all of a sudden have all this stuff, well, gosh, when you start here, you ought to be able to do something. So anyway, back to real estate a little bit. Don't forget, next week, Billionaires, who kind of rags to riches stories. And remember, if you need to get a caterer, our favorite caterer in the area is Cultivate. And if you're looking for a real estate company, call us, Visions and Traditions. We're here for you. We give you that boutique feel. We want to help you. We want to take care of you. We want to handhold you. And we've got some great experienced agents here that can walk you through the process and take away the stress. It was so great visiting with you today. I look forward to next week. And did Sister Gabriel Ann get on? Okay, I don't know if Sister Gabriel Ann was able to log on or not, but if she did, a big hugs and kisses to you, sister, and look forward to seeing you at the family reunion coming up. Okay, see you guys next week. Hey, David.